I bring my year's presidency to a close. While many may look at this as a tough luck year, I look at it as a challenge I was handed. I take a positive spin on this because of all of you. With what could have been a devastating year, and I know for many it was and still remains to be difficult, I was inspired by this group of professionals and their resilience in the face of adversity. I've seen great things come from people that just wanted to help, right? A noble cause. Leaning in to find a way to lift someone up. And this year, we had many events that challenged us to think differently and deliver programs that our SHFM family needed. No matter what the subject, we took it on and brought together fantastic resources to make each webinar, Zoom meeting, and podcast pertinent. In each of my President's Quarterly, I tried to focus on the issues that we were facing so we all felt as though we were in it together. Together as an organization, together as support for each other, and most importantly, about this group, together as a family. The Foundation continued to support education and philanthropy. The IAB brought new programming and shared their knowledge and industry influence. The committees focused on continuing to move their programs forward in the face of new realities we found ourselves living in. Now I can go into the thank yous. I can be here all night thanking everyone that leaned in. But first, a huge thank you to all our sponsors. You stuck with us even when the business troubles that were so apparent this year. I'd also like to congratulate all of the Directors Award winners. And I will share with you that one of the greatest parts of this job is to call the winners, which is something I took true pleasure in. I will say one of my favorite calls was one that I didn't make. And I speak of the Jay Silverstein Lifetime Achievement Award. Hopefully all remember our dear friend Jay and know he epitomized the values of SFM, which became SHFM. And it's obvious as he won just about every award we offered. He was also a silent, mostly, supporter of all that sat in my seat. I'd be remiss if I didn't share a story that not many people know. Tom Newcomb, this year's recipient, a true gentleman and hospitality professional, is the perfect person to receive this recognition in its new title. Many don't know that last year Tom passed his Community Service Award posthumously to Jay, as his passing was such a shock to the community and certainly our SHFM family. This year, once again, Tom was thought about and officially recognized as the Lifetime Achievement Award. With that, I asked my friend Corey Silverstein if he'd like to make the call and let Tom know of his recognition. Jay and Tom were friends, and I know this was a special moment for both Tom and Corey. The reason I mention this is because for anyone that thinks of getting more involved or even taking on this job, remember, there are many perks. And if you have that hospitality in your heart, you can make a difference in this organization and the people you serve. Now I need to mention the people that have made a difference for me. I've made what I consider lifelong friends in the industry, and this year just solidified that for me. RG1, Rob Gavel, your guidance and mentorship has been invaluable, along with helping me see what makes this group far and away the best in the business. Rob Gebhardt, our RG3 partner. I asked you to be my conference chair, treasurer, and soon to be president. Anything I asked, you not only did, you did it exceptionally well, as seen by this conference. Mr. Shane Varnum, my untitled chief of staff, who always shared ideas and thoughts on how to make things better. Mike Johnson. While you all thought he retired, Mike has quietly, yes, I said Mike and quietly in the same sentence, continued his focus on developing new leaders as seen in this year's Hunger Games and its success. Mike also was the one to let me know when people stepped up to help SHFM when I wasn't aware. To Mr. Lavazza Frank LaRusso, you saw a need in the IAB and made a webinar, something we haven't seen in a while. Between your efforts within SHFM and to those you've touched on your coffee bus tour of the East Coast, your support in the community at large is something to be proud of. A special call out to a person who shares the same musical appreciation as I do, sends me positive messages, and has literally touched each part of the organization. You may know him now as Mr. Joybomb, but I just call him my friend, David Wickstrom. David has been involved with so many aspects of SHFM I lost count. His spirit for SHFM and the passion to do good embodies the hospitality spirit we always talk about. It's people like these that make our group a family. To Damian, this has not been my year. This has been our year, and I'm glad that we went through it together. I am more confident than ever on the strength of the organization as I pass this virtual gavel to you. I know with your keen sense of hospitality, you'll continue to take this organization to new heights. Before I go, I wanted to save the last thanks for the people I spent most of the time with, my families. To my Amex family, thank you for all the work you allowed me to do to take on this role. to Pam Zimmerman, who jumped in and got involved in SHFM and has already been a big contributor to our success. I also would like to share my adopted family of FSA. Tony Butler, we did it. And I mean we. Nothing we accomplished this year happens without you and your team's hard, dedicated work. To Peg, Julie, Michelle, Jessica, and Sarah, I can't tell you what a pleasure it's been working with you. And finally, my family, the group that keeps me grounded and focused. To my wife, Melissa, my sons, Josh and Jeremy, and my daughter, Julia, thank you. You are the reason why I do what I do. With your support and love, I feel like I can do anything. To everyone in this organization, thank you for allowing me to serve as your president this year. It has truly been my honor to lead this exceptional group of professionals. RG2, out.
So I guess the time has come for me to step into this role as SHFM president. I've given a lot of thought as to what I was going to say, and I keep coming back to two words: thank you. Thank you for providing me with this opportunity to serve all of you and this association that has meant so much to me. And a special thank you to Rob Gordon, RG2. It was certainly an unprecedented year we had this year with a global pandemic and the social justice issues that were going on in our nation, but you led us through it all with courage and conviction and kept leaning on those principles you brought to the table from American Express of that servant mentality and leaning in. As I started thinking about what I was going to rely on from my time as president, I started thinking about the mission statement we have at Guidewell: helping people and communities achieve better health. 7 simple words, but they mean so much. And it came clear to me as we head into 2021 that these are the best words for us to rely on as the litmus test for what we're going to do going forward. Helping people and communities achieve better health means not only our SHFM community, but also the industry at large. It means not only our physical health, but the financial health and well-being of our industry. And as we've learned throughout the conference, our mental health, which is so important to all of us in order to be successful. Everything we would do will have these 7 words along with the SHFM mission statement in mind as we move forward. It might seem like a tall task, but as I look back at the accomplishments of SHFM over the 4 decades that we have been around, I am truly impressed. We are standing on the shoulders of some great work of people who have come before us. Like the Critical Issues Conference. Born out of the events of 9/11, this has now become one of the most anticipated SHFM events every year. A special thanks to Bob Whitcomb and Ron Earhart, among others, for bringing this program to light. The SHFM Foundation. I was unaware that over $760,000 has been awarded since the formation of the School to Career Committee. And a special thank you has to go to Rudy Flick, who had the vision that started the scholarship program and eventually led to the formal formation of the foundation in 2006. The Hunger Games. What a great program that was brought to SHFM through the IAB. Back in 2009, the focus was shifted strictly to hunger awareness and food insecurity issues. With the success of this year's games, since that time, we have raised more than $100,000 towards this effort. A special thank you to Mike Johnston, Shane Varnum, and now to David Wickstrom and Bob Klockner for leading this most important work. Adding the H. I have to give a special thank you to Mark Freeman for having the foresight to see what was changing in our industry and leading the change and helping us to frame the future for what was up till then SFM. Our Young Professionals and Rising Stars program. Never have I seen a program have such an impact in such a short amount of time as this group has had on our industry and on SHFM as a whole. Thank you to Jay Silverstein for being an advocate for this group and for the legacy he has left us. The SHFM Diversity Council. When I think about the Conversations That Matter series we had this year, as well as the recent change to our bylaws, it is definitely setting groundwork for us to do great things to come. Thank you to Victoria Vega for establishing the Diversity Council. My opportunity to serve as SHFM President coincides with the launch of our new strategic plan. This is a perfect opportunity to nurture the future of both our society and the industry at large as we work through the 4 key pillars of that plan: membership, education, brand awareness, and diversity and inclusion. For membership, we will attract and retain diverse and engaged members by delivering value through the SHFM culture of workplace hospitality. In education, we will strive to be the leader of cutting-edge workplace hospitality education by delivering superior in-person events like CIC, the Young Professional Summit and National Conference, as well as virtual learning experiences like the Conversations That Matter series and other webinars brought forth by the IAB. Brand awareness. We will strengthen our position as the trusted and go-to resource within our industry. And we will increase the synergy between SHFM and the SHFM Foundation strategic plan in order to be able to enhance our grassroots efforts of reaching students in hospitality programs at colleges, universities, and culinary schools. And diversity and inclusion. When we talk about the SHFM mission statement of enhancing workplace amenities and food service through collaboration, education, benchmarking, and innovation, we're talking about achieving that for all people. We're continuing to make SHFM an even more diverse organization. We're invested in this work not just because it's the right thing to do, but for the betterment of the customers we serve, the communities in which we live and work, the industry we love, and for each of you, our valued SHFM members. 2021 will certainly be a challenging year for all of us and for our industry. We will continue our recovery from COVID-19. We will experience new realities and normals in the workplace. SHFM throughout all of this will continue to be there, and we will support you, our members, and the industry through our programming, events, community outreach, and the continued work of the foundation. And I know that you will be there for SHFM with your continued engagement, participation, and support. We must not, and we will not lose our momentum as we enter 2021. Novelist, poet, and activist James Baldwin once famously said that not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed unless it is faced. Throughout its history, SHFM has repeatedly come together and faced what needs to be changed. As we head into our future and see both the challenges and the opportunities before us, my ask of you is that we continue to come together and be not only the face of what needs to be changed, but to be the face of that change for SHFM, for our industry, and for each other. Thank you.